So hey you guys, this is Glamazon Tay and I'm back with another video. And today's video is going to be super lit because number one, we're live from Thailand. Y'all, we are live from Thailand, and I feel like this trip ultimately has changed my life as far as my perspective of myself, my perspective of me as a brand. It also has showed me my strengths and my weaknesses, as well as just how great of an individual I am wholeheartedly in a well-rounded way. I hate to sound super boosty, but I have to just brag on myself real quick, because who do you know? Well, I don't know, but I know it's some girls out there, and I'm one of those girls that can be out the country living for at least 30 days. Like, it's just a blessing. In 3 days, I would have hit my 30-day mark, and I'm just really, really happy with that, and I'm super excited. I know that a part of my journey has been like solo travel, so I've done a lot of traveling by myself. You guys know I went to my first trip by myself was Tulum, Mexico. My second trip alone was the Maldives, and then my third trip alone would be pretty much Bali, and now I'm at my fourth country, and it is Thailand, both in Bangkok as well as Phuket. So, I mean, it's just a blessing. It is a blessing for sure, for sure. And before anybody said it, they'd be like, oh, I know you was with people at da-da-da-da-da. Let me tell you something. When I was in the Maldives, and like, y'all know how it is. Let me clear it up real quick. When I was in the Maldives, I did start with friends, but they ended up leaving, and I stayed solo alone by myself for the next couple days. And then also I traveled there and back by myself. And another trip that I started ending solo was Bali. I am a travel host. You guys, I host trips out the country, and I bring you guys with me and share an experience. It's really good for people that are solo travelers, as well as other entrepreneurs that want to learn more about businesses, because I do hold seminars when I do these travel groups out the country. And each group is about 7 days long, and I've done 2 groups out the country to Bali, Indonesia. So I'm super proud of myself. I gotta brag on myself a little bit real quick, because number one, I've been doing my thing. I've grown so much, and I've just changed. But I know y'all not really here for that. The question I get a lot of times when I talk about my solo travels is, how do you solo travel? Like, what does that look like? How is that? Just a bunch of different things that surround that question. And I've never answered it. I also don't think it was that. I don't think that I realized how big of a deal that is, that I'm a pretty much Black woman that travels the country alone. I will literally get on a flight, go by myself, have a ball there, and then roll on out. I don't think I really took in how big of a deal that was, and I noticed that I started getting that question a lot when I was posting all over my Instagram, all my content and stuff. So I do want to just give y'all some tips that I feel like are beneficial for you if you want to solo travel as a woman, especially a Black woman. And also just some things that I found that I came into contact with in ways that I maneuvered through those situations. I have a list, honey, because I was not playing. I was like, I'm going to give you girls all the tips and tricks. Even guys, you can utilize these things as well. But since I'm a woman, of course, things are going to be more guided towards that just because I'm a Black woman, okay? So let me give y'all my first tip, because I did write down a bunch of them. So number one, for solo traveling, I highly suggest bringing your passport card, as well as your copies of all your documents that you might possibly need. And when I say documents, I'm talking about your flight information, printouts of that, your hotel information, your visa. You can even print out your passport or have another copy of it. You can never have too many copies of it. With the passport, when I first originally got my passport, they just gave me a passport, right? But then I was like, okay, so later on down the line, they came out with a passport card. So with me, I had to actually apply for the passport card, but it's just a ID form of your passport instead of carrying a passport around, because the passport is kind of bulky. It's a little book, and with me, my purse it's not going to work, but I do have a card holder, so I just go ahead and put my passport card inside of there. That is just another second way of me having identification. I'm out the country. Anything could happen. My passport could go missing. Somebody could grab it. Anything. And the only way that I'm getting back in the United States without a bunch of hassle is having my passport. So I need to make sure she is clipped to the hip, and I need that to be like next to me. And I mean, sometimes unfortunate events can happen. So you just make sure you have copies and doubles of everything. Because a lot of times, if you don't have the physical passport over here and something is up, then you can just show them a copy, a picture of it in your phone. Just make sure you have numerous copies and different ways you can access your information if need be. Okay? Because don't take it lightly. Even though stuff ain't happen and don't mean nothing, it don't mean it can't happen. So I just rather be safe than sorry. Most of the time when I'm coming out the country, I guess all the time. When you're coming out of the country, you have to use their rate of currency or their form of currency that they have. So with us being in the US, we have dollars. You figure in Thailand, they have baht. So you have to use their form of currency to get around. Yes, people do accept US dollars, but I don't rely on that. Most of the people where I be and I'm in the streets, they want their money or whatever it is, okay? I sometimes when you're at the airport, when you get off the plane, you can go to the ATM and pull out a lump sum of money. I be doing that because I think it's a little bit quicker. Yeah, do charge a little bit more, but if you have an international bank card, and you can get one of those, my homeboys tell me about those. Whenever you use the ATM and they charge you like a ATM fee, they will reverse that the next day back onto your account, so you don't run it up with going to the ATM. Because going to the ATM at the airport will charge you like $6. That's how much they charge me in Thailand. Or you can go to the conversion counter and just pretty much go there, tell them how much money you may want. They'll pull it off your card. Or if you have the cash in USD money, they would do that as well. Do not get scammed with using they do have little conversion counters around like whatever country you're at. But some of them, they can rip you off. Like in India, you got to be super safe because you'll give them the money, they'll give back to you, and then they'll kind of fix it up and not give you all your money back after they didn't count it, you count it. It's weird. It's like a whole thing. But I just like to go to the ATM, or I will go to like the conversion counter and I make sure that I'm like on top of it. Okay. So you make sure you get the money and whatever it is. Now, a way that I do keep up with the conversion of different places, it is apps, but I don't really use those. I just go on Google. So with here, like I said, they use BAT, BAHT. So I will go on Google. I will put in baht conversion to US money. So then I'll put in, for example, 100 baht is 3 USD dollars, like whatever that is. Okay, so it'll tell me the exact conversion. That helps where it's right on my phone. You know how you got like different little tabs? I just won't click off the tab. I'll leave the tab right there because I feel like it's the easiest way. I'll just put it in, see it, close my phone. And then a lot of times if I go to the Safari, put it in, close my phone, it'll give me the conversion. Or you can use an offline app where basically it's just an app that works offline if you're not connected to Wi-Fi or whatever, and pretty much just put that in. But know your conversions. You don't not know it OD, like everything word for word, because clearly I don't, but just have it accessible. So that way if you need to say it or do it, you can do it like super quick and it's not like this big old thing. Next, research whatever country you're going to, because when you're leaving the airport, you do not, like, it is a lot of taxi services out there. It is. But I feel like a lot of them is I get in a taxi, I go on about my business. It's no form of identification of whose taxi I got in, where I went. I have done it before though. I have done it when I was in Turkey. I just kind of got in the car and was whatever. But recently now I'm more on top of it. So in Thailand, they actually have something called Grab, and that is their form of Uber or Lyft, and it's pretty much the same thing. It tells you the tag number, it tells you who the person is picking you up, a picture of them. You have some form of identification of who it is, screenshot it, send it to somebody back home, or just have it in your phone, whatever. So you know exactly what it is. But research your country. I feel like for Thailand, like I said, it's Grab. For India, it is called Bluebird. Like each one has a different form of transportation. They're not that expensive at all. So just use those. And the way they set them up is that you can either pay in cash when you get wherever you're supposed to go, or you can have it linked to your credit card. So when they do deliver you to wherever you're supposed to be, it'll take it out. So I just recommend that because it's a way that it's tracked. This driver is credible. The driver has actually done rides before, and it tells you who they are. I heard of one girl, she said she went there and went to get a taxi, and she felt like they were trying to run a scheme on her and like traffic her or something. I don't know how true this is. I think God haven't had any type of situation like that. Knock on wood, won't. But I feel like I just make sure that I have something that's trackable. Like, you know, you just don't want to be out here in the streets. And that has worked for me. I felt comfortable. I felt safe. I know who he is. I see his picture. I see everything, tag, car, previous ride history, all that. So, okay, let's say you get out the airport, you got in your taxi. Now it's like, where do you stay? Now, personally with me, I recommend staying at hotels or resorts. Yes, when I do excursions and activities, I do go in the field with it, meaning I do go in the village of where the people are. I'm not one of those people that stay on the resort and just want to enjoy the beaches. Like, no, I want to get into the culture. I want to know who's here. I want to know more stuff that's like on an intimate level with wherever I'm visiting. Like, I'm that type of girl. So, but as far as where I lay my head, I don't want to stay in like no name type of hotel. I don't want to do those kinds of things. Even with Airbnb, I'm super finicky of Airbnbs in the States. So I prefer not to stay in Airbnbs out the country. Now, if I'm with a group of friends, I would not mind staying in an Airbnb. But as far as just me by myself, I do not want to stay in Airbnb. That is someone else's home, someone else's property. They can access it whenever they would like to, come in whenever they would like to. They could have any type of cameras, anything in there. So personally with me, that is just not my main choice of wanting to go. Now, when I was in Bali, I did go to an Airbnb, but the way I did it was that I had my hotel, went to the Airbnb, shot content, and I did end up staying because my homegirl was there. But if my homegirl was not there with me, I would have definitely left and went right back home. Went right back to my hotel because I just want somewhere that's safe. I want somewhere that has security. This is not to say Airbnb and them aren't, but I think that I just want to take extra precaution being a woman alone by myself. I just stay in resorts, I stay in hotels, but I will leave to go wherever I need to get to, if that makes sense. Everybody know where I'm at, everybody know where I'm laying my head at, and it is a common place. I also prefer, because I'm solo, I want somebody to clean up after me, so please fix my bed. Please come get these dirty towels. I don't want to do none of that stuff myself. Or if it's dirty in here and I want somebody to clean it real quick, I would like that luxury. But to each his own. You know with me, I just prefer not to. Next, as far as my phone and other people's phone, with my phone, I've always used data. Well, not always, but recently I've always just changed the plan on my phone. I have Verizon, so I just go in, I put on a travel pass on my phone for the next month or so, and pretty much just that's how I use my phone. I use my phone regular. It works when I'm out in the street. I don't have an issue, and pretty much my phone, it just works because I have a travel pass on it. If you don't do that, that's perfectly fine. When I was living in Turkey for a little bit, I ended up getting like a SIM card on my phone. Now with the SIM card, you can just go to the little store because these people are used to Americans and different people coming to visit their country. Like they're used to that kind of stuff. So they have a lot of those things around. So you go out, you see a phone service store, a telecom store, even in the airport they have them. And like I said, just Google what country you're going to and what phone type of service thing they have. You can purchase a SIM card. I think it's like $35, $40. Use it for the entire month. Use it for the entire 2 weeks, and just put some data on it. That's it. Your phone works out the country. It is what it is. So yeah, it's just that simple. Put the SIM card in, use it. Time to go to the States, switch back out. That's probably an easier way to do it from time to time. But I travel so much that it's a travel pass on my phone. So low key, anytime I'm out the country, it just I don't even have to click anything, to be honest. Automatically sets in when I'm out the country because I just be gone. So I be forgetting, to be honest. So I'm glad that it's just already on my phone. But I do have Verizon. Another way of communication that they use over here is WhatsApp. Make sure you download WhatsApp and have that on your phone. That's how you can kind of keep in contact with people. If you want to book like restaurant venues for food or dinner reservations or spa reservations, WhatsApp is super popular over here everywhere that's out the country. I don't really use WhatsApp in the country, but some people do, but I don't typically, not unless I'm talking to like a Chinese vendor or something. I don't really do my WhatsApp thing, but they all use WhatsApp around here. That's good. A great way of form of communication. If you need to talk to somebody, even with your hotel, get their WhatsApp number, talk to them. So WhatsApp, that's what everybody uses, WhatsApp. Content wise, this was another question as well. Content wise, with me, if I do meet somebody, typically I might just ask them to take my picture, but that's not often because a lot of people don't take it the way I want it taken. So I will just go through, use my tripod. I have a tripod, super nice. It's on my Amazon store. I have two tripods. So I have one for my DSLR camera that I'm using right now. That tripod cost me like $450. You don't need that, but you do need a really, really good tripod if you're going to be using a DSLR camera to take pictures, because you don't want your tripod to fall over due to wherever it's at. If it's windy, if it's water, like underneath it, like whatever, beach photos, anything. Just invest in a really good tripod. As far as my phone, I do have a tripod. It came with a remote. I love that tripod because the remote actually connects. Well, when I'm done using the remote, I can click it onto the tripod so I don't really lose it. It condenses down super small, super sleek, and it goes to like 60 inches. I'm 5'5", so it does give me a great range of not make me look too tall because it's too short, not make me look, I can manipulate it really well. But I do recommend getting you a good tripod, or make sure you have a remote so that you can get your content in, because at the end of the day, no monkey stops a show. Okay, so if I need to get some content in and do some stuff, I would do that. Also, I think I told y'all on TikTok, basically how I take pictures without anybody there and putting something in frame so that I can see what it looks like, know not to go past this mark, and this is where I want to take the picture at. That works out for me. This is a personal thing with me. I don't really do clubs, because when I club enough in Atlanta. Like, I be outside, okay? So if I'm out the country, I do go to like a little vibe, a beach club during the day type stuff. I'm not really a big fan of going out to the nightclubs by myself and drinking. Like, I just don't. I feel like it's already be sketchy in the States, so I'm not gonna take myself out the country and be like a walking duck and have people like, oh, she cute, she fine. They got a connection with the bartender, slip something in my drink. Now I don't know where I'm at. Like, I don't do that. So I don't really go out at nighttime past like 9 o'clock. Most time I'll be tired anyway from the time difference. So I don't typically go outside at night. If I do, it's because I met a person and then we kind of go to a really public place. But just me by myself, I don't go. But if I do go out with somebody, most time it'll be somebody that I met that's from the States and we just both was there by ourselves. I've kind of done that a little bit before. But just to be like, okay, I'm going out the country and I'm gonna go to the club, I don't really be feeling that vibe. Most time when y'all see me out the club, it's because I done came with some people and we out the country together. But I don't just be going out the country, going to the club and doing that. I personally just am very uncomfortable with doing that. But I might do it tonight. Like, I might go to get a restaurant, but I don't really see myself going to a club. Now, yeah. But when I was in Thailand, when I was in Bangkok, now I did go to the like vibey little clubby spots, but that was because one of y'all I met, my subscriber, he was there. I met him kind of virtually a little bit. We had like a little bit of talking, communication, and then we finally met in person. And then he was super dope and cool, so now we're like friends. So, I went out with him, but that's because we both from the States. We already had some type of dialogue, so we went outside. But just me be like, okay, I want to go to the club tonight. Most time when I go to the club, I want to turn up, I want to drink, I want to smoke hookah, I want to vibe. I'm not going to do none of that while I'm out. So I might just go for music, but I'm not going to eat. Most likely, I'm not going to eat or drink nothing if I do. I'm just not. So far as with me doing activities, I personally prefer to research the activities before I come. And then when I get here, the hotel will have a guide or a person there that books activities. So you just go talk to them. Nobody's saying you got to purchase them, but you just go talk to them. Okay. So like, for example, I had already kind of knew a little bit of research of what I wanted to do. Cool. And then when I got to the hotel, I asked them about some excursions because clearly they want to sell them to me because they're going to get a commission, right? So I also, when I was talking to my driver, that's another thing is I make sure I'm very vocal and I'm talking. So I was talking to my driver. I was asking him about excursions and booking stuff. And he was like, oh, I know some people you can book through me because taxi drivers, the hell, who is this at my door? Okay, I'm back. Girl, they came to deliver me my little regular cookies. Girl, that's what I'm saying. I want the luxury. I want to sit back, chill, and bring me cookies. Let's vibe, friend. Let's talk it out. So, yeah, so where was I at? Booking activities. So they just trying to get a commission off you. You get what I'm saying? Like, and let me even look it up. Like, so basically, like, for example, and I talk to my drivers because they get a commission off stuff too. But you got to be super careful because people will scam you. I will get to that in a minute. So number one, when I was talking to my driver, I was like, oh, I want to go to the Fifi Islands. Like, it's like a tour of 4 different islands. You go see the James Bond Island. You take really dope pictures. You got to get on they come pick up your hotel. You go get on a ferry. That's like an hour and a half drive, I think. Stand there for the whole day. They bring you back. Cool. A lot of people doing it. So I'm talking to my driver because I kind of knew the concept of it. That's why I say if you do a little bit of research, you'll know what you're walking into. I told my driver I wanted to go the one I found on the app, because I mean, I trust him because I don't, not trust him, but I just know he's a driver for real. So he's probably on that. I was like, okay. So he was telling me, okay, I can get you a hookup for $1,800. I'm like, all right, $1,800 baht, which is like $49. So let me go talk to the hotel too and get a gauge of the price, because I might could just do it straight through the hotel. Come here to the hotel. The lady straight told me it was going to be 3,200 baht. 3,200 baht, if I'm not mistaken, that's $88. That's a whole extra $38 for the same exact thing. And the pictures of the brochure she was showing me was the same ones that he was showing me screenshots on his phone from. So I was like, oh no, I'm going to book with him. What I do? He came over here. I booked it with him, gave him the money. He went somewhere, got the ticket, brought the ticket back. I'm going to go to the Fifi Island store tomorrow. So, you know, I talk to the people in the hotel because I feel like they know like some spots and they'll tell you some stuff that maybe the driver don't know. But ultimately, they're way more expensive at the hotel. So just keep that in mind. And then a lot of times you can go straight through whoever is booking it. So, for example, me and my homeboy Bruce, the one I met in Bangkok, we said we wanted to go to the river market, okay? The river market is like a flea market on water. So basically, you just sit in the boat, you go through, you see the different markets, you talk, and you barter, and you bargain with them about what you want to get. So we had met this driver, a previous driver that had came and picked us up, same on the app, and then he liked our energy. And he was like, well, I can be your driver while you're here. We like, cool, say less, because honestly, he was going to charge us cheaper rates, and we was together anyway. And when it's stuff like that, I do it because he's already on the app anyway. Child, he was supposed to be taking us to the river market. We told him to take us. He said he was going to come pick us up at 8 a.m. He come pick us up at 8 a.m. We on our way there. It took an hour to get there. Honestly, he wanted like $50 to take us an hour there, an hour back, and wait. But I was like, baby, I'm talking you down. And people get so mad at me because I talk people down. But bargaining is a part of their culture. Like, one time I had heard from my guide, if I don't bargain with them, they feel like they was disrespected because they felt like the price was too cheap. Like, that's a thing. So get off me. But either way, I bargained him in for $25. So he was going to take us an hour there, wait for us like a couple hours, and then take us back. So he was so happy to do it, so eager. And I'm like, all right, something ain't up, but whatever. So we get there. Mind you, we already researched the river market. I seen what the river market looked like online. My homeboy Bruce seen what it looked like online. When this man pulled us, we drove an hour. He pulled us up to like a place that was like I don't know. It was like a building, but it looked super new, like colorful. But it looked very new, like it was made within the last year or so. Mind you, the river market is old. It's been there for years. So it is nothing like really new about it. Like, it's cultured, you know, but it's still a vibe. We get there, I'm like, this don't look right. Something ain't right. Go Google it real quick. What did they say? Drivers would typically pick you up and take you to a building and tell you this is the only way you can access the river market by boat. You pay them to get there, and then you have to pay another fee to the people that they pulled you up to, and then they take you to another market that's a lot more expensive and not exactly the river market. But also, they might take you to the river market too, but you didn't pay all these fees before you didn't even got to the river market. You didn't pay the driver, you didn't pay this middleman, the boat that you got on, you paid them double, and then they take you finally to the river market. We kept telling him, this don't look right, this don't look right. And what they do is they try to rush you. So the guy was like, oh, well, come on, get out the car, like da-da-da-da-da. Mind you, I was thinking to myself, like, it's no way. Like, it's no way. Like, I was like, give me a minute. Give me a minute. Like, just give me 5 minutes. I need to look something up. But they already knew what I was doing. I was looking it up and to figure out what it really was going on. Come to find out, he took us to the middleman place and then was going to charge us all this extra money on the back end. That's why he didn't mind the 25. So we literally told him, take us to the real river market, because we looked it up now and we have the address and it's within 4 minutes away. Like, take us to the real market and stop playing with us. And that's when you kind of got to get a little bass in your voice. Not to cuss them out like aggressive, but you got to let them know, I'm not playing with you. Because if you want to play with me, I'm going to play harder. Mind you, I'm an hour away, so, you know, but Bruce is big. He like 6'6". So I'm like, at this point, it is what it is. And on top of that, I'm not really scared because I already got the app on my phone. I could really just get out your car and get on the other app myself. And like I said, this wasn't a solo travel experience, but it was a scammy experience, and I wanted to bring it to y'all's attention. So then he says, oh my God, I'm so sorry. Because we fussing him and getting in him, right? And we're doing it in a quaint way. Like, we're doing it in a good way. Like, it's not, we being ghetto. It's just really like, stop playing with us. What does he do? 4 minutes later, he gets in the car. He says he keeps apologizing. He keeps saying sorry. He drives us 4 minutes away, 4 minutes down the street. Now we're looking at things that look super familiar to the River Market. Now we're at the River Market, and guess what? We bypass all those extra fees of the middleman that we was gonna have to pay and all that. Now what we do is we get straight out of his car, walk straight to the boat, pay the boat like 600 baht, which is only like, I believe, maybe $10, $11. Let me make sure. Oh, we paid the boat. We paid the boat 300 baht, which is $8.29. Instead of a middleman and the extra fees for the expensive boat they was trying to charge us. So you just got to be mindful and know what you're doing. And if you feel like something is giving you iffy and sketchy, just say, wait a minute. I need to look this up. Wait a minute. I got to Google it, because you're not going to rush me. You got to put your foot down. You're not going to rush me. You don't got to be nasty, but you're not going to rush me. Give me a minute. Wait a minute. Wait one moment. I need to look this up, because most time you could have put in boat market tour Thailand scam, and then it'll come up and tell you exactly what they do, because it's so common, you know. So that's another thing. Know where you're going, and when you're in the car with these drivers, look, when you get in the hotel, that might be when you got the, if you just want to be cheap and not use all the other stuff. I feel like if you solo traveling as a woman, you definitely need to be able to access your phone. Your phone needs to work out the country. You need to have a SIM card, straight up. I'm not even gonna play with y'all about that and say if you want to be cheap, like straight up, your phone just needs to have some type of I can contact and reach out to somebody. But you can always just get on Google or use an offline Google map and basically download the country you're in, go to there, and in whatever's, like, let's say I'm going from my hotel to this space, I already have it in my phone, so when he's driving, I can see if he's off road. Or I ask other people around here, like, okay, how far is Banglar Road from here? Oh, it's like 15 minutes. Okay, so if I'm in the car for 30, 40 minutes, and I'm making all these different turns, I know I'm not where I'm supposed to be. Like, I know something's up. And you got to take into account traffic. If it's traffic, you know, weigh your options. But if it's no traffic, I shouldn't be taking that long to get there. I definitely like to research the country I'm going to and be mindful of it. Thailand has been super cool, chill. Everybody over here keeps the peace down. Bali's very peaceful, very relaxing. Maldives, Bora Bora, they're super like expensive places that it's just really a luxe vibe. But when I went to Brazil, I had already researched it and they told me don't ever have your phone out like that. So when I was walking around on the streets, I would have my vlogging camera to vlog real quick, but I was super mindful and then just put it right back up in my phone. I didn't just have it out in my hand or just holding it, because in Brazil, they're known for stealing phones. So just research your country or where you're at. Even when I was in the air, in the Ubers, they would tell me like, oh, don't have your phone out in the back seat with the window down, because somebody in the motorbike will reach in there, grab your phone and keep going. Like, they're known for stealing phones. I don't know what they do with the phone. I don't know how they jailbreak the phone. I don't know what about it, but they be getting people's phones, taking the phones, stealing the phones. So you just be mindful. The places like I just named, they were super chill. I didn't have no problems with the phone thing. But with motherfucking Brazil, they was like, put that phone out. Like, don't have your phone out. So just be cautious about that, and even ask the natives, the people in your hotel, is it something I need to be mindful of? Something I need to be looking out for? And they told me, phone, put that phone up. I'm like, all right, keep the phone down. Another thing is getting travel insurance. I would recommend that just in case you feel sick or something's going on with you. When I was in Mexico, I got super sick like a dog. And remember I told you I was in Mexico alone. I was sick as heck. So what they ended up doing was giving me a shot at my booty. I called the doctor, gave me a shot at my butt, and literally I was perfectly fine within the next hour. Like, I went and throwed it up and it all out, but I was perfectly fine, and I had a little bit of travel insurance. So I recommend it, especially if you're gonna be gone for long periods of time. So, you know, just make sure you're cool, you're good, better safe than sorry. You don't wanna be out the country and all this stuff going on, and there's so much stuff. Like, even with Bali, you can get Bali belly. Mexico, you can't really drink. I mean, a lot of these places you can't, but you can't use their water to brush your teeth and stuff. You gotta be mindful of that. Like, I got sick in Mexico. And yeah, just keep that kosher. I definitely recommend having you a portable charger at all times. This goes with the content. Have you a portable charger, your phone can die. Their adapters is way different than ours. If you can, go on Amazon, buy some converters, because when you're in something that's super like, very like, I don't know, some of them don't have converters. When I was in Bali, the first time they didn't have converters, so I had to get my own converters. But then in Turkey, they don't really have converters either, so I had to get my own converters. Even in the airport, I don't want my phone dying. That's my like lifeline, so I need that to stay intact. So I always have converters. That way, when we go to plug our stuff up, their plugs is different. We have like 2 prongs and they're flat. Theirs is like circular. So you got to know that kind of stuff. So yeah, just make sure you're mindful about your converters and that kind of stuff. And portable chargers. Make sure you have a portable charger just because your stuff died. You already got, they can get you enough juice to go somewhere else. Look at your airline though, because they only allow certain megabytes or mega something in your, if the charger's too big, they won't let it come through on an airplane. Straight up. They're going to go in your bag and take it out, or they're going to take it off your carry-on. So I do have my portable charger in my Amazon store. I think it's in my Travel Essentials or something. That one, she looked at it, pulled it out, looked at the number, and she was like, okay, you can go. So it was under the number. I'm not sure what the number is, but I'm just telling you, I was under the number, so I was able to keep going. At least, I don't really drive in other countries. When I was in Mexico, they was telling me, like, do not get a rental because the police will pull you over, and they're really, really corrupted. So it's like they'll try to, what's the word? They'll try to, like, make you pay them to leave. So with me, when I was in the car, my taxi driver, they was like, they won't bother you with taxi drivers. So I was always in a taxi, always in an Uber, that kind of vibe for sure. Okay. You can get your travel license or your international license. You can go right to the DMV, I believe, or AAA, one of them. I don't have mine because I don't use it. But if you want to drive, the option is there to drive. But I also think it would be super confusing because a lot of these countries are like, they drive on the other side of the road and they drive so mischievous. But don't be out here driving a scooter or a freaking car without having an international license. Because when they pull you over, I don't know what's going to happen, but I done heard some stories where they was cool on them, and I heard some stories when they wasn't. Because they know you are Americans, they're going to be like, do you really got a license to drive this? So they would check it. I'm not talking about no driver's license that work in the States. I'm talking about an international one. You don't have to take a test for it. You can just go in there and pay. They will give you a little piece of paper with it on, and that's your thing. And then last but not least, just talk to people when you're out here. You might meet other people that are solo travelers. Talk to people at your hotel, talk to your drivers. And sometimes people will put you on. Oh, I know how you could do this. Oh, I know how you could do that. And like I said, get it for a cheaper price or just put you on game of what to do. Because at the end of the day, when you get over here, that's when you really see what it is like and what's going on and where to go. So you can do a lot of research and just have your blueprint of what you're thinking or your outline. But overall, getting over here with the natives and the people, that's going to put in perspective of what it is. I typically, if I get a driver, I don't like to switch my drivers in and out and keep it doing that. I like to keep the same consistent driver. When I first got here, I got a driver. I really liked him. Second time here, the next day, because my driver ended up having to leave immediately and go out the country to somewhere else. So I was using this other driver. And I ain't really like him. So at that point, I'm like, I'm not using him no more. I'll use somebody else. And, I keep doing stuff until I feel comfortable with it and I like it. And also a lot of guides out here and drivers, they will speak English. That does help. Have Google Translate on your phone. If you don't understand their language, you can type in what you're trying to say. It will translate it to exactly what their language is. That is a big thing because it is language barriers. Also, make sure y'all are super patient. I'm not a really patient person, but when I'm out the country, I'm super patient. OD, I don't want nobody getting in trouble, locked up. I don't want any type of mishaps. It's frustration on both ends because y'all don't understand each other, but y'all still trying to get somewhere. So just keep it kind of lighthearted. And I think you'll be okay. A big thing I seen and heard people say about solo traveling when I was first researching was don't try to stick out. And just to end off this note and be super transparent with y'all, even if I try to blend in, it is super hard to blend in with me. Number one, I'm black. Number two, I wear a lot of makeup. I'm giving very much so Instagram baddie. They don't see that on a regular basis, especially the places I've been to, even the Maldives. They'll see some girls, but it don't be kind of coming like I do. I think that a lot of people out the country love the way a black woman looks. And this is not to shade on nobody else, but they just love the way we look and the way we, just our bodies. I'm not gonna say fetishize us, but they just love the way we are. And I think that it's just hard for me to blend in. But when I wear my Chanel bag and this, that, I do make sure I'm going to the luxury part of the city. Now, when I went to the favelas, when I was in Brazil, and that's the hood, I just had on a regular shirt, regular this, and a little bag that wasn't name brand and just kept it like that. So I'm just very mindful of my surroundings and where I'm going. If I'm going to dinner, yeah, I can be a little bit cuter. I can be a little bit more, but it's hard for me to blend in. Even if I tried, it's hard. Who's at my door now? Because I'm here alone. Hold on. But I don't do I just don't do the most. And I just keep it at a minimum. And I dress appropriately. I've been dressing up a lot more. I feel like appropriately for where I'm going. If I'm going to a temple and stuff, you know, I try to cover up my shoulders and my knees because that's appropriate. But I still try to make it my style because, of course, I want to take some Instagram pictures. So just be mindful of the dress attire. When you go to Dubai, they don't play that skin out stuff, so you got to cover up. So when I was in Dubai, I was covered. You know, so it's just different things that pertain to different stuff. You know, you just do the best you can with being respectful and make it make sense, you know. I'm not going to wear no hoochie mama outfit out and I'm going to a temple. Like, that just don't add up. And it don't go with the aesthetics, if we're being completely honest. So I say all that to say, those are some tips I've learned as a solo traveler and just being a Black woman. I don't know if I answered everybody's questions. Hopefully I did. I'm pretty sure it might have been something I forgot. I definitely don't mind doing another one. So just comment below. I also will be in the comments meeting y'all there so I can help out if any way possible. So yeah, I love y'all. I'm so proud of myself, y'all. I really have been doing it. Like, if I could look back and look at me now and think I would be solo traveling, never would have thought. Never. But I'm doing it. I'm doing it. I'm out here meeting people. I'm out here just going with the flow and just not being so strict about everything. Okay? Not being so strict about everything. I'm also going to talk about my experience a little bit more on my podcast. So definitely go check that out because I'll be getting into like some stuff and things that have been occurring with me out the country. Nothing bad, but just some stuff that I just want to get off my chest. And yeah, so I will see you guys in my next video. Don't forget to comment, like, and subscribe. And I love y'all. Mwah. See ya.